Namaskar and welcome to this special interview on Organiser. As we know, on August 29th, 1964, one organization bringing all sects and sages of larger Hindu family was brought together under the guidance of then Sangh of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, Shri Guruji, and this organization was named as Vishwa Hindu Parishad. In 1964, as per the Hindu calendar, this was Janmashtami also. So there was a special significance behind this foundation of the organization for the protection of dharma. Since then, VSP has been spearheading various movements, emerge as a prominent voice of Hindus, not just in India, but globally. As VHP is nearing 60 years, as per the Gregorian calendar, 29th is the 58th foundation day of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. We have with us Secretary General of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Shri Milind Parande ji, who is now in a way leading the organizational operations of VHP. Today we are going to discuss with him about the journey of VHP, till date, achievements, priorities, objectives, how far they are fulfilled, and the future trajectory of the organization. Namaskar, Milindji.
Namaste, Prafulla. How are you?
Fine. So let us begin this conversation. As I mentioned in the introduction, Vishwa Hindu Parishad since 1964 has completed a journey of 58 years. And there have been many landmark achievements in this period. How do you see this journey? How far the objectives that were envisaged at the time of foundation and they have been achieved, and what is the progress ahead? We would like to know from the, as they say in English, horse's mouth.
Thank you. It has been a very eventful journey, so to speak. And the Pujaniya sages and the Pujaniya Sarasangachalakji of Sangh had felt the need that such a organization is required that will work at globally for the protection of the Hindu all over the world. So few things were decided that the activity should be undertaken so that Hindus staying in all over the world should be brought on one platform. So up till now, maybe we have not reached the whole world, but Vishwa Hindu Parishad is established in now around 29 countries all over the world. Australia, New Zealand, UK, USA are some of the good working units of Vishwa Hindu Parishad that are registered in those countries according to the laws of those countries. So that is one aspect that has gone ahead, what the people, founding fathers had envisioned. Then they had envisioned that whatever aggressions that will happen against the Hindu society, Vishwa Hindu Parishad should be in the vanguard in protecting the Hindu society. And that is why Vishwa Hindu Parishad has taken up many topics that are dear and near to the Hindu heart. Like it is about Goraksha Andolan, it may be about the freedom of temples, that includes Sri Rama Janma Bhoomi, that includes Rama Setu, That includes Baba Amarnath, Buddha Amarnath. So these are things that are very dear and near to the Hindu heart, and they relate to the Hindu pride also. Thirdly, there was a very good focus on making our society faultless, nirdosh, so to speak. So, eradication of social evils, very great efforts in educating the society and changing the behavioral patterns of the society was done. So, that is something I think we have done much work in the country. Then a very wide range of service projects were undertaken in the field of health, education, women empowerment, environment, skill development, things like that. And so over 5,000 service projects are right now running in this variety of fields. So I think we have achieved some things, though much needs to be done in that also. One very big achievement we feel is that the increase of expression of Hindu pride and increase in Hindu unity in the society. That is a very big achievement. And then because Pujaniya Dharmacharyas are guiding us, the Dharmacharyas felt that Dharmacharyas belonging to the all sampradayas and pantha of Hindu Dharma should be brought on one platform. And they devised and developed Vishwa Hindu Parishad in that type of platform where all sampradaya and all pantha can comfortably come together. So that is, I think, as far as Hindu society is concerned, a very, very big achievement. So factors like that are there where I think we have progressed. And one of the points of aggression was religious conversion that time. That was felt very badly. And because of Vishwa Hindu Parishad work, I think lakhs of Hindus have returned to their mother religion, their original Swadharma. And that has happened voluntarily. So these are very, I think, as far as Bharat and Hindu Dharma, Hindu Sanskriti is concerned, our society is concerned, these are some of the, I think, good achievements that we have been able to make.
In fact, in coming half an hour or so, we will be discussing on each of these issues. You mentioned about Rama Janmabhoomi movement and freeing Ram Temple. That was a momentous occasion as far as the journey of Vishwa Hindu Parishad and Hindu society at large is concerned. Now the temple is also being built up with contribution from all over India. How do you see, because largely Ram Mandir issue has been seen unfortunately only from the political prism. But how do you see that as a movement, as an organization, how Vishwa Hindu Parishad played that role, and now that the ultimately the temple, the grand temple, is being built in Ayodhya, how do you see that as an outcome? What are the effects of this movement on Hindu society?
See, one of the very major, very visible effect is that Hindutva has come into the center of Hindu thinking, the society's thinking. Initially, any movement or any political move in our country, even at national level, could be done by ignoring or insulting the Hindu society. But now it is not possible after Rama Janmabhoomi. Hindutva has come to be the main course. It is the central course of any debate or any thinking. Like people say, oh, you are right thinking, means rightist. What I think is that we are really not rightists. We are the centrist. That is the center point of Bharatiya thinking. So we have corrected the center of gravity. That has happened as far as Hindu ethos, Hindu Sanskriti, our country is concerned. That is one very, very major effect that has come. Secondly, we will see that many people think of Rama Janmabhoomi, as you said, they look at it from a political prism. But actually, it has been a fight of pride. It is concerning Swabhiman. Everybody looked at the Babri Dhacha as a symbol of insult. And a symbol of insult for any proud society must be removed. And that is why removing of that Babri structure was removing the symbol of insult. It has happened many places in the world that everybody has done that. So it was a very necessary act, destruction of that removal of that Babri Dhacha. And then Rama Janmabhoomi temple is not only a temple of Lord Rama, it is that, but it is something much, much more. It is also a symbol of our pride. It is a symbol of our Swabhiman. So many, many people all over the country identified with this movement because they did not think of only in terms of Upasana. Because otherwise only Vaishnavas would have, gathered around this movement. That did not happen. Every Pantha Sampradaya, even people who were not thinking about Bhakti or Upasana, they also rallied around this point. So, because it relates to our sense of identity also and sense of pride also. See, in the Northeast, many people will say, oh, what is sense of identity? But in the Northeast, you will see that there are two tribes, Dimasa and Karbi. And Dimasa, that Janajati, identifies them, that they identify with Ghatotkach. And they were not converted because they said that they were the descendants of Pandavas, because Ghatotkach was the son of Bhim. So that sense of identity was so strong that the Christian missionaries could not, really convert them. Even Karbis identified with Ramayana. They said that they came here to look for Mata Sita. So sense of identity is very, very important. And it has reasserted the Hindu identity, Rama Janmabhoomi. And that is why that natural feeling, that natural attraction was there in the society. That is why even people responded very much. And thirdly, bhakti was there. There are crores of people who think that Bhagwan Shri Ramji is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So they were connected. But many more also thought that Bhagwan Shri Ram was not only an incarnation, but he was a Rashtra Purush. He was a Rashtra Purush. He was like Maryada Purushottam. Whatever we believe in, whatever values that a Hindu society and Hindu Sanskriti cherishes, he is the symbol, is the Maryada Purushottam. And that is why one identifies with that thing. So, and lastly, like the last leg of this agitation or Andolan was the public contact program that we took up last year. Means phenomenal reach that we achieved in this. All the organizations who came together, we went to over 4 lakh villages, over 4 lakh villages. We went to over 12 crore families. So that's almost 60-65 crore people. It has never been done in Bharat and not all over the world. This is like fantastic. So this happened, and it happened only in 45-46 days. So it is a really record-breaking, public contact, like a, effort that was done. This shows that how it is, how deeply Bhagwan Shri Ramji is part of our ethos, our Shraddha, Bhakti, everything that we value. So Rama Janmabhoomi has corrected and rejuvenated the Hindu society again. Like Mr. Naipaul said, that a wounded civilization standing up again. So this is part of that standing. Ram Janmabhoomi has helped this, society, this civilization to stand up again with pride. So that is a great contribution of Ram Janmabhoomi.
But Milindji, despite the success of Ram Janmabhoomi movement, in last 15-20 years, what we are seeing is, like for example, when the VHP was formed, we have seen Shri Guruji bringing all sects together, all Shankaracharyas together. Even the, caste level, region-wise, everybody was represented there. Now we are seeing very different kind of vociferous tendency that are being promoted by anti-India, anti-Hindu forces, where everybody is trying to project themselves as not being Hindu, either on caste lines or sectarian lines. There is a tendency to divide the larger Hindu family. One can easily say that it is out of frustration, but that is a social reality and we have to deal with it. How does VHP, look at it, and how would you like to approach it?
Actually, I differ in my views to what you have said, in the sense that I do not think that we should make a general statement that everybody is trying to say that we are not Hindu. There are certain sections in each section of the society, a very minority section in each section of the society, which is trying to say that. But the majority of that particular section also does not agree with that small minority section. And because of the hold many people have, because of their strategy on media or sections of media, then there is a lot of hue and cry or a lot of noise about this viewpoint. It is like, manufacturing a false narrative. That is what they're trying to do, that we are not Hindu. See, the Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Hemant Soren, gave a statement at the time of this contact program that Adivasis are not a Hindu. That is what he said. And a Chief Minister of a very, powerful state where the population, tribal population is very huge. When he says something, people will think that it is very important because he has won and come to that place. But then villagers, tribal villagers from thousands and thousands of villages, they contacted us and they said that Bhagwan Sri Ramji spent 14 years amongst us. So we identify with him. And then Mata Shabri is there, a very age-old Bhakta of Bhagwan Sri Ram. So we identify with Bhagwan Sri Ram and we are waiting for you so that we can contribute. So they send soil, they send holy water, they send donations, everything they did from thousands and thousands of villages. So a very powerful person spoke, but still that powerful person was not a true representative of the community's voice. This is what is happening everywhere, that there is a, what you call a very wicked plan here of some people who want to break the Hindu society. And there are unfortunately some selfish people who want to fulfill their own agendas. So they're sacrificing the unity of the society, the integrity of the nation, for fulfilling their selfish goals. But this narrative, nobody is buying it. Though it is present in the media and we can hear it on the social media and all, but it is not the reality, because the silent majority is silent. That is all. It is not conquering with the narrative. But it seems that that effect is there. That is what it seems.
Is Vishwa Hindu Parishad trying to make them vocal? The silent majority, because what we have seen, for example, in Karnataka, when the entire Lingayat thing happened, or even for that matter, Jain community, which has been part of larger Hindu dharmic tradition and have been contributing very significantly. Uh, there is on the one hand, there is a media and intellectual narrative and many outside forces also working on this. But there is also a state mechanism which gives, this minority status that has also created a lot of problem. So my point is, yes, it may be at very minuscule level in certain communities, but if there is a voice and there are certain fault lines which are being worked on, that needs to be countered. What is VHP strategy to counter it?
Mainly, we are meeting with the Pujya Dharmacharyas. Like you said, Jain Samaj. That is why I'm talking about that incidentally. That we have met many of the, that is Murti Pujak Sangh, then Digambar Sant, then Tera Panthi. We have met different sampradayas that are there in the Jaina Dharma Dhara. And publicly, they have said that, no, Jains are Hindus. I can name many sadhus who have said it publicly. Then we went to all the gachas, 13 gachas of the Jain Shwetambar Murti Pujak Sangha. And all the acharyas sat down. They were called their very important Shravaks and their Sangha. And we had very open discussion, and nobody agrees with that. There are certain people, and so people who are politically motivated or people who are running some institutions, and with the minority status, they want some benefits. So they are trying to propagate this theory. So now the sadhus are taking a stand, and many people are taking a stand that no, this is not the view of the community. And Vishwa Hindu Parishad has many Jain Padadikaris who are working as Vishwa Hindu Parishad, very all India type of leaders. Same with Lingayat Samaj also. Lingayat Samaj, many leaders came to meet me when I was in Ayodhya, and they had come from Maharashtra and Karnataka. And they said that, no, what is this new thing that has come up? And it was tried by some of the Congress governments that time also. For vote bank politics, they wanted to break the society. But now, what are the common points of the Hindus and Lingayats? Means Lingayats are part of the Hindus. So those common points are coming forward. So work is being done on that in meeting the sadhus, meeting the community leaders. All those things are happening. Like tribal society, because there is another very big factor is tribal society.
Right.
So we are taking programs and meeting various tribes like Rana Punja. Rana Punja is Punja Bhil, who fought the Mughals with Maharana Pratap. Half of the Rajput, the Rajamudra is Bhil. Tantya Bhil is there, who is a Swatantrata Senani. Rani Gaidinliu is there. Then Bhagwan Birsa Munda is there. So everywhere we have work in these communities, we are trying to bring forward these, historical contributions of those sections of the society with the larger Hindu society. So bringing this forward, it helps in seeing all these things clearly. So this interaction is very important, so that the synergy is developed and, it is protected also. So this is a continuous effort. This is a continuous effort.
You mentioned in your introductory remarks about the issue of Go Raksha. Because, in last few years, I have been looking at the documents of freedom struggle. And what I found interesting is, though most of the people talk about 1960s agitation for Go Raksha, or even Constituent Assembly, Go Raksha as a topic issue has been discussed. What we find is, right from 17th century, if there is one constant issue that is there in freedom struggle is about cow protection. And right from Jammu Kashmir, Punjab to southern parts, we find that, erupting again and again. Unfortunately, this entire issue of Go Raksha has been discussed, projected as a regressive anti-Muslim kind of issue. And therefore, we hear this, beef lynching, cow lynching, these kind of things that we have heard in last few years. And VHP is mainly projected here when it comes to cow protection issue as the regressive force that is imposing certain food habits and choices on people of India. Uh, if we have to communicate this to the larger audience, especially in the intellectual space, how would you go about it?
See, actually, it is a very complicated issue, a complicated challenge. And it's I can say, a chronic problem because it is at least 800, 900 years old problem.
Mm-hmm.
And advent of Muslims in the country started this problem because the Hindus did not eat cow meat or did not kill cows. And when we started working on all these things, see, one of the factors is that the Gochar Bhumi that is available in the villages, that is taken over by the general public. That is one of the major problems when we are dealing with Goraksha. Secondly, we will see that where will the cows and the cow and her progeny will go if they want, grass and everything, because people have taken over the land that is allocated to them. So that is a real problem that needs to be addressed, and it should be addressed legally. One thing. Secondly, the farming sector has become more and more mechanized. Initially it was dependent on cow and her progeny, but now it is not so. It is more and more mechanized. Secondly, cow dung and cow urine was used for fertilizers and maintaining of the land. But now chemical fertilizers and chemical insecticides are being used. That's a very, very powerful and big lobby as far as farming sector is concerned. It goes into tens of thousands of crores. Right. So it is a very powerful lobby. Thirdly, the Muslims and Christians eat cow meat. So they're into its business. Fourthly, because of the inbreeding and crossbreeding, the quality of the breed has reduced. That has happened. That is the local mistake that we have done. So inbreeding and crossbreeding, that has hurt the cow and her progeny. So when we are talking about cow protection, we have to talk and correct all these issues. It is not only about protecting the cow from the butchers. It is not only that single point thing. But why is it important? Because when all these problems are very long-term problems, to correct them, it is going to take much efforts. It will require policy correction also and policy implementation also. So much smuggling is going on, despite our having Prevention of Cruelties to Animals Act and Animal Preservation Act. Two very important acts are there. Despite that, thousands of cows and her progeny are killed every day. So law is being broken every day of the year, thousands of times. Nobody wants to talk about breaking of this law. And what they're talking about, the words that you mentioned, lynching and all those, actually that is also a very false narrative to discredit the efforts to save the cow. See, it is like many people say, you decide or call a dog mad many times. And when you stamp the dog as mad, then everybody will go after that dog. So this issue has been really, demonized all over the country by forces that are opposing this cow protection. Actually speaking, when we will see that Vishwa Hindu Parishad, I'm proud to say that is associated with this topic because we are the biggest force for saving cow and her progeny from the butchers. It is very, very big force. We are saving over 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh cow and her progeny every year from being butchered. Then we are working into development of the breed, improving the breed that we are, trying to do. Thirdly, what we are undertaking is organic farming. Thousands of farmers have been trained every year by Vishwa Hindu Parishad into organic farming. Last year's numbers are over 10,000 farmers that we have trained in organic farming. Then we are collaborating with over, tens of universities, like 14 universities in North India alone, whom we are, with the Department of Agriculture, different departments. And what we are doing is that combined research, like how you can make medicines from cow urine, how you can make insect controllers. We are not saying insecticide. We are talking about niyantraks, the controllers. Then how we can increase the productivity of the land, because the chemical fertilizers are destroying the productivity of the land. So if we can promote cow-based farming, then the productivity will increase. So this work is multifaceted. See, the smuggling that is going on is on such a huge scale. Millions of dollars of business is happening in Bharat. Cow killing business is a very, very big business. And without the complicity of the police stations, it cannot happen, because it is a cross-country smuggling ring. So with that happening, the challenges are very great. So our Karyakartas are working for it. We have, proved that every mob lynching incident that has been told is false. We have proved that. Not a single Bajrang Dal Karyakarta has been convicted, and the Karyakarta is not convicted because there was no truth in the allegation. That is why. And lastly, we have given a list of over 140 incidents where the butchers have attacked the police, killed the security forces, or killed other people while smuggling. Nobody wants to talk about those 140 incidents. They are talking about false accusations again and again to discredit these efforts. So this is the total picture here.
You also mentioned, and BHP has been working on, unfortunately, it is again not much talked about, but in seva activities, health, education, Ekal Vidyalayas is very important initiative. What is peculiar about these projects? How far they are successful to our readers and audience? Will you please explain about the service activities undertaken by VHP?
Yes. Now Vishwa Hindu Parishad is doing over 5,000 service projects. And as I mentioned earlier, they are in the field of health, then in education and skill development, women empowerment, environment protection. Ekal Vidyalaya is now working independently. So I will not touch on that topic right now. But what we are doing, like to give some examples, that we are working in the tribal regions of Rajasthan, South Rajasthan, that is Baswada, Pratapgarh, then our Udaipur and all those districts. We are running around 300 primary and middle level schools. So we are making a difference in lakhs of tribal children there. Like Talasari, Vishwa Hindu Parishad's first project, that is again in the Maharashtra tribal region. And hundreds of bank servicemen, hundreds of teachers, lawyers, then many, members of the Vidhan Sabha, members of the parliament have come from our projects. So we have really made a qualitative change in the weakest sections of the society and really empowered them so that they can lead the society. Like if you go to Orissa, where Pujya Swami Lakshmanananji's, tragic Balidan happened. His martyrdom happened there, Jalaispata, Kandhamal district, or Chakapat. We have been working there for the last 40, 50 years, working in women child, girl child. We have been working for many, many decades. Nobody can think about that. Is the only, I think, girls Sanskrit school in the country, residential school that we are running for many years. So these are, or if you go to the, what you call it, urban areas, there is a very big project that is happening in Mumbai where we are serving the cancer patients. Every day, hundreds of cancer patients and their relatives are being served in Mumbai. We are doing dialysis center there. We are doing educational project. It's a huge project that covers many, many lakhs of population. So when you talk about service projects, Vishwa Hindu Parishad is helping the weakest sections of the society, may it be scheduled caste or scheduled tribe populations. We are really empowering them and not only serving them. The effect of the service is that many of them have stood up to serve the society again. That I think is a larger transformation. They were receiving seva, now they are doing seva. So rather than being beneficiaries, they are becoming people who are benefiting the society. So I think that is a very, very big change. And it has benefited lakhs and lakhs of people for many, many years now.
Similar kind of project I remember was undertaken by Vishwa Hindu Parishad when it comes to training pujaris and archakas from various caste and communities to perform certain rituals. How far there, it has worked out? What is the outcome of it? Because in media, at least, it is not much talked about.
Yes, see, you can connect it with our efforts to create social harmony also and dharma for every person. It should be easily available for every person to practice and profess. That is what we want. And we want to depict, so to speak, social harmony in action, not only in talk. Because Vishwa Hindu Parishad believes in walking the talk. So that is what we have done. Is a very big experiment went on and is still going on in Tamil Nadu. We have trained over 25,000 pujaris. And out of that, I think maybe 15-20% pujaris will be belonging to the Brahmins. Otherwise, other pujaris, 80% almost pujaris, belong to every section of the society. And we believe that everybody has this right to do puja. And that is why we are training them. We are taking residential camps, even in Kerala, mainly Tamil Nadu. Then we have done such experiments in Jharkhand amongst the tribal population also. And because of that, many, many villages, the puja part has started again. Now we are going to undertake this in every state because we have prepared a syllabus for this from experts so that it is available in their mother tongue as well as in Sanskrit. So it is available in both languages to every section of the society. One very good thing I will tell in this is that we are the first to train Mahilas as pujaris. So when I am talking about equality, social equality.
Woman priesthood was unthinkable in all other religions while Hindus are going ahead.
That is why Vishwa Hindu Parishad undertook this project, and in a big way, we have done that. So it is not only caste-wise equality or social harmony, but equality at all levels, gender equality also. We are paying attention to that.
Any other Samrasta related activity? Because Vishwa Hindu Parishad was in a way pioneering in 1969 when Udupi, the resolution was passed and all sects and sages and dharmacharyas of all sects came out and openly said that it is not any kind of caste-based discrimination is not permissible in Hindu dharma. Is there any forward movement in that as far as samrasta activity is concerned?
Oh, definitely. See, training of pujaris is a very big example of, what you can say, samrasta. That dharma activity is available to everybody. And as a right and as a seva, it is available to everybody. Secondly, what we did was that we are running many Ved Vidyalayas. And who has the right to read the Vedas or study the Vedas? That is a very important question in the Hindu society, or much debated. Now, our Ved Vidyalaya, they are admitting children of every caste who will qualify for it. We are training even the tribal children, everybody. So whoever, and our results are very good as far as this effort is concerned. So this is a very practical effort, because this is not only about talking. This is about living. And very big example, many people will not think of it, but Rama Janmabhoomi temple Shilanyas was done by a person belonging to a very ordinary class of the so-called ordinary class of the society, Shri Kameshwarji Chaupal. But because he is Hindu, every Hindu is equal. That is what we believe. So only one incident that was going to happen as far as Ram Janmabhoomi is concerned, that Shila Pujan was done by him, and in the presence of all the Jagat Gurus, all types of Jagat Gurus. So that is a very, very important thing. We, all of us, have heard about Dom Raja, the Katha of Harishchandra, that he served in the Smashan of Manakarnika. So that lineage is very important in Manakarnika. The person is still called Dom Raja. Vishwa Hindu Parishad did the effort that very prominent sadhus should go to the house of the Dom Raja and have prasadam there. See, that is unthinkable. To think of that, that person who deals with dead bodies, who burns dead bodies, was totally off limits before that. But a very, paradigm shift in thinking and in action has come about. And now, because Vishwa Hindu Parishad works in the dharmic field, many dharmacharyas have taken it upon themselves to spread this message all over the country, in every section of the society. And we, whatever service projects we are doing, are in all sections of the society, weaker sections of the society. So not only philosophically we are saying it, but we are serving the sections of the society who are weaker or who have been discriminated against. So all these things, I think Vishwa Hindu Parishad has played a very important role in changing the mindset, because these are the social evils that we have to eradicate from our society. They have no dharmic or philosophic sanction. That is what we believe. But the fault was there in practicing. So that correction should come in practice, in vyavhar. That is what we are trying for. And the results are very good. Results are very good.
Similar to caste, though you have already mentioned about the work in tribal areas, still there is a rampant conversion activities, de-Hinduization of certain sections through various means, whether education, whether health, whether forceful or deceitful. That is still going on. We have seen what has happened in the entire area of Northeast, in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh. And it's not just that the political forces associated with them in the form of Maoism and all, they are also playing their role. So how far VHP is successful in addressing this issue in tribal areas, the efforts of de-Hinduization?
Total central belt of Bharat, right from Bengal to Rajasthan, Gujarat, including Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and everything. All this section is heavy population of tribal is there. This total central belt. So Vishwa Hindu Parishad is working in all these areas, mainly through service projects. And many sadhus are working in these sections also. So what these all the problems that you have mentioned, we have experienced. But what I feel is that the involvement of the tribal population in the freedom struggle, as well as opposing every aggression against the dharma, as well as the country, has been huge, and it has a long history. So, though many people are trying, and some of them are slightly successful because of the money they are spending and the illiteracy and the poverty of the tribal population, there is some effect. But when we go to work there, then it is changing. Like I will talk like now a very big issue. One organization is there that is called Janajati Suraksha Manch. There is one organization that is working. So when we observed their work, we thought that yes, it is good work. So we started talking about these issues in the society. Like what we observed is that this issue was taken up by Sriman Karthik Urao. He was a Congress, member of parliament. And he took up the issue about reservation that is for Hindu tribals. And when people that have converted to Christianity or Muslims, they are around 18-19%. And they are taking up around 80% of the reservation
benefits.
So this, awakening is very, very important, because the reservation in the tribal section is for the protection of their parampara, their tradition. It is not on the basis of discrimination as it is in the scheduled caste. There, the basis of reservation is separate. So when you leave your puja paddhati, then you are no more a tribal. And that point was missed, unfortunately, while that law was formulated. So that awakening we are doing also everywhere. And people are realizing it, that what is happening. And many of the sadhus that like Pujya Lakshmananandji, like many sadhus are there, Pujya Shanti Kaliji Maharaj, who also was mercilessly killed by the terrorist organizations in Tripura. There are many people who have offered their lives, in work and in death also. So this work with the sadhus in this tribal population is changing the scenario right now. But much work needs to be done, because our organization has not reached all this section. There is one more narrative that is going on that we are also addressing, is about the Indigenous Peoples Day, Moola Nivasi Divas. That is the 9th August, as you know. So now we are talking about the 15th November Day. That is Bhagwan Birsa Munda, Janajati Gaurav Divas. Because that concept is very European or American, the 9th, and that does not apply to Bharat, because everybody is Adivasi here, so to speak. Nobody's come from outside, so to speak. So we are taking up such issues while working amongst the tribal region, and that awakening is good enough to answer many of these problems and narratives.
Another complex issue is of temples. There is a growing discussion about it, especially in the southern states, about freeing temples from government control, handing them over to Hindus. But there are many complexities involved, because there are different acts applicable in different states. There are different conditions where the government control applies. And generally, while talking about this, it is compared to, say, either a mosque or a church and their autonomy. You talked about freeing temples. So is it on VHP's agenda, and how far Vishwa Hindu Parishad is taking this issue forward along with other organizations?
Definitely, we are working on it, and it is on our agenda. It is a very important issue on our agenda. Recent case was in Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand government took over around 51, 52 temples that were very ancient. So Vishwa Hindu Parishad took up this topic in Uttarakhand. We did awakening in the society also, and then we interacted with the government also. Then the chief minister came to the sadhus meeting the Kendriya Margdarshak Mandal Baitak that happened last year in Haridwar. And there, in front of the press, he announced that we will be returning all those temples that were taken over by the government to the society. And that happened. So we reversed a decision that has happened. Now the major issue is in the southern states where thousands of temples have been taken over. Unfortunately, the properties of those temples have been misused or misappropriated, many by the people who are handling them. And many Christians and Muslims are working in the society who don't believe in Hindu dharma, who don't follow Hindu dharma, who have no faith in the deity. So Vishwa Hindu Parishad is working with many legal experts, many lawyers from Supreme Court, then many retired High Court judges, and along with some sadhus that we are working with, we are trying to create a model where the society can accept the temples given by the government. Why this example this need has arisen because Karnataka government very nicely has said that they will be handing over the government controlled temples to the Hindu society. So if you are going to hand over those temples, the number is thousands. So how does one accept those temples? Who will appoint the trustees? Who will manage the properties? How will they be managed? If there are disputes, what will be the dispute resolution system, mechanisms? And how will we fit into the constitutional framework with minimum involvement of the government and the judiciary? So that is the key point there. That circle should not start again. So, and how will we ensure a complete participation of every section of the society in administration of the temple? It should not be of a few people only, of a few sections of the society also. So that social harmony topic is also very important. And then how will our temples become more socially conscious in dharma prachar, in seva? So all these aspects together, we are trying to create a model of mechanisms and systems for this, and we hope to have it ready within a few months only.
Okay. Milindji, there is another important issue, and VHP has been vocal about this. Today only one program in Delhi got cancelled on the request of VHP by Delhi police. Islamic radicalization and growing, a sort of religious strife that is taking place, especially on roads. We have seen this recently in Hyderabad, in Kanpur, in Delhi. Many places we are seeing these sporadic events that are taking shape. In between, we have seen Hindus coming out on the roads in Delhi in support, or rather against the remarks that were made in the judiciary, by the judiciary, and making it very clear that we are not going to tolerate. But VHP as a prominent organization, organizationally, how do you see this phenomena? Because this is not limited to India. Globally, we are seeing this happening. Whether Charlie Hebdo case or recent Nupur Sharma case, we are seeing people actually practicing those dictums like Sartan Se Juda. Hindu society, many a times I feel that is not ready to take on this, because Hindus essentially believe in peace and harmony and equal respect for all ways of worships. So Vishwa Hindu Parishad, what is the plan to deal with this phenomena of Islamic radicalism?
See, Islamic radicalism must be corrected. That behavior must be corrected. People should be dealt with very harshly about this. People who will use violence as a tool who will take law into their hands, who will not accept the constitution, they cannot be tolerated. They must be made to understand or punished if they don't understand. That is the way we think. Secondly, the government, the police, the law and order machinery, the military, they will deal with these phenomena in a proper way. But all these mechanisms may not be available at the hour of attack. Because all the police means villages do not have police stations. All the what happened in the Bengal last year on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th May after the TMC won the elections, Hindus were attacked en masse in 4,000 villages in 3 days. So there police were just spectators there because the political dispensation was on their side. So the Hindus...
For that matter, what happened in Udaipur also?
Yes. So when such a thing is there, it's very necessary that the society must be strong and the society must stand up to protect itself. That is very necessary. We believe in that. And that is why awakening of Shaurya, or awakening of Parakram, and the readiness of the society to protect its values, its families, its women, its property, there is nothing wrong. Everybody has a right of self-defense. And that is why staying within the bounds of law, the Hindu society must be strong and organized. We are paying attention to that. Our youth wing, Bajrang Dal, will play a very, very important role in creating such a society.
Last question, Milindji. VHP next coming 2 years will be completing 60 years of its existence. There were very laudable objectives. Some of them have, taken some shape. Some new challenges have come up. You are also talking about the organizational expansion, need to work more in tribal areas and service activities. So what is the future agenda? Is now Kashi Mathura going to be the priority, or there is something else that is going to be the priority in next couple of years?
See, Rama Janmabhoomi, Kashi and Mathura were the pledges of the Hindu society. Vishwa Hindu Parishad worked for that. So Rama Janmabhoomi is complete. In a way, that issue, only a huge and a big temple is to be created, glorious temple. So we are concentrating on that first. But in societies, Hindu society's agenda, Kashi and Mathura is definitely there. And I am very confident that Hindu society will complete her agenda. Definitely. That is going to happen. Nobody can stop that. So Kashi Mathura will be Hindu societies in near future is what my belief is. As far as Vishwa Hindu Parishad is concerned and 60 years is concerned, there are certain priorities for us. How to expand our work in all the countries where Hindus are staying in the world. We have reached up to 29 countries. So that is one priority, very important priority. Second is because many forces are there. They are trying to confuse the Hindu society and they want to de-Hinduize the Hindu. That is what they are trying to do. They are the Breaking India forces. May they be Christian missionaries, may they be communist forces or Islamic Atankvad or the Western, consumerism that is there. That is also an important force. So we will need to educate and alert and prepare the Hindu society and organize the Hindu society to face these challenges. So we will be focusing on that. Goraksha has been our very important issue. And the dharmic jagat that is there, because Vishwa Hindu Parishad is For Vishwa Hindu Parishad, it is a very important aspect of our life. That is our sadhu sant, our temples, our pujaris, our dharmic yatras, freeing of the temples. All these things are going to be on our agenda. And of course, service to the society is very important. So work that we have been doing from day one, they are there. We have to complete them because that work is not still over. And we were born for that only.
Thank you, Milindji, for extensively talking to Organiser about VHP, its achievements, current priorities, and future trajectory. I hope VHP is able to take along all the sections of our society and make a contribution as per the ideas of the founders to make this nation glorious. Viewers, this was Shri Milind Parande, Secretary General of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, who extensively talked about various aspects and issues pertaining to Vishwa Hindu Parishad. I hope you like the discussion. Next time, again with some special guests, we'll meet again. Namaskar.